What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Set. He's from the DoD clan. His name is Joe. In the top side of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. He's from the F2 clan, and his name is Player. The map is Ghostlake. It's currently 1-0 in this best of 5 series between Player and Joe. For Player, taking that first game with some impeccable Zeus play. We've got, I think it was the first map, Ghostlake as well. My brain does not work. I did this last night and I have no idea. It feels like this is a salty run back if you are at all up with the lingo of the Smash scene. Salty run backs are where you play the exact same matchup straight away because you were unhappy with it. With the result. Anyways, here we go. We've got this set shenanigans. We'll see what he can come up with. He's got the double gold mine Ghostlake yet again, which allows him to have quite a bit of freedom in the early game to do a lot of the booming. However, we've seen with Player that he's completely fine with just allowing Joe to just be as greedy as possible because he knows that he can keep up with the greed simply by just getting to the Mythic Age and just using that Zeus late game and just harassing a little bit. He's been a little bit unlucky here with this boar spawn. As you can see, he's only got the 2 boars here, and these boar over here, he cannot get to, and he doesn't know they're there because they're behind the trees, and he's not going to be able to see that one for just a little bit. That scout is scouting the complete wrong way. He's going to be seeing some berries, going to be grabbing some goat that are the caribou here, and he's going to catch that priest out yet again, which is gigantic. I feel like Joe should have learnt from the first game, and that sending that priest forward is a definite death there for him, because there's no way that he's going to get away with that. Definitely want to be sending that one for his own caribou or his own boar or maybe even the polar bear, but you're probably going to get spotted there. You want to be at least getting one animal that can scout for you, because only having the hyena, while it's okay and you can scout most of the map, it definitely slows you down and you're not going to be able to scout out their base. You're going to be checking out all the map anyways, and we are going to be seeing that these villagers moving up onto this caribou. We're seeing a similar build to first game. 3 villagers gold. Nice house placement here. This one protects all of these gold mines very, very well, or this gold mine very, very well, I should say, especially with this temple as well, chucking down that temple with 2 villagers. I reckon there's a way to do this that is more efficient than this. You don't want to be putting 2 villagers onto a temple. I reckon if you chuck villagers onto gold earlier, then you're going to be able to advance, or at least get that temple up early, because you only need to get 100 gold. And maybe even you could like take villagers off gold in order to get the temple, and then put more villagers to food, so you get the 400 gold, the 400 food. Sorry, and it does seem like he's going to be getting this temple up and still not have the food income. So I'm a little bit unsure of why he's gone for the double villager build on that temple. I don't think it builds. The build time is 40 seconds, I think, maybe 60 seconds, and I don't think it halves with 2 villagers. I think it's a little bit longer, so it's a little bit inefficient there. We've got System of Bast over here as well, which Joe has seen, and he's definitely going to grab that one once he force dumps into this granary, and I'm sure he loves seeing that relic there, because that means he can just go hard on these villagers. Costing 45 food a villager is absolutely gigantic. The other relic on the map is Tal of Cerberus, which isn't that useful. Zeus does get access to centaurs, which can really utilize that relic there, but apart from that, there's not much use there. We're also seeing Tar and not Anubis, so definitely not going to be going for that one. We're going to see a monument to villagers throwing down. We've got 9 villagers on gold. He's actually looking like this gold income is going to be a little bit behind. He may not be able to get the 400 gold. He's also spent gold on priests as well. He wants to be going for the early shift. He's not going to have 400 gold in order to do anything. He is going to be able to shift into this base though. This is quite a nice situation here for his villagers, for Joe to hit the villagers, or maybe even hit the villagers over here would be the right option here. Is he going to be, if we check out Joe's perspective, he's going to cast vision somewhere. Yes, he's going to cast vision onto these food villages. Player getting a little bit greedy here, chucking his villagers up into this corner. Every single one of these is going to go down. And Joe's still spending his gold on something. Is he grabbing a town center? No town center just yet. He's not sitting at enough resources there to grab that one. He's going to be moving over here onto this caribou. Maybe he's going to be going for straight, fast heroic here. Realizes how much advantage he's getting from picking off 5 villagers this early. This Wadget going to be doing absolute work onto that villager and potentially killing off another one. Does manage to get out one villager there. Feel like that was some poor micro. He could have just like slapped those, or poor shifting sands placement. Should have slapped the unit straight on top instead of cutting off this area and caused some issues there. We're seeing the Centaur coming out. The Jason is here as well. And if we check out player's perspective, he's going for a second town center, which is a little bit greedy considering there's all of this junk in his base. This Jason does take the pain, especially with all of these units here. I don't think Joe even needs to retreat at this point. I reckon he could kill the Jason if he wanted to, and then potentially everything else. There's enough stuff here. He's also got the Spearmen coming in as well, so they're going to be doing some damage here. The Wadget going to be able to get away as well, and the Jason does go down, but the town center is on its way. Check out Joe's perspective. There is no town center at all in the works. It's just one barracks producing spearmen, and this town center is going to get up. No need to use the ceasefire at all, but this does mean that Joe's going to have a little bit of an advantage in terms of the spearmen. So Joe's shaking things up here, but it does not look like, beyond picking off all those villagers, it's going to be that effective. He should have sent these guys straight over to the settlement after these villagers were picked off. Unfortunately, town center gonna get up, and that's gonna spell doom for this attack. Gonna have to retreat out of here, and potentially could run over onto this food here and stop it, but maybe player can get out that stable and start defending. The spearmen still getting pumped. Seeing the armory is going up now, and villagers getting taken off the food line. Realizes he needs to have so many villagers on food in order to support one barracks auto queuing spearmen and one town center. He's got 20 villagers on food right now. Potentially just start queuing villagers back onto gold. With 20 villagers is enough. You could probably actually build a second barracks as well with 20 villagers on food. You need 4 villagers for the town center, and then I think it's 8 villagers for one barracks of spearmen. If we check this out, yes, eight villagers for one barracks of spearmen. So another 8 for a second, which is roughly 20 villagers there. And he does need to get more villagers onto the gold. I think you need 4 villagers on gold to produce from one barracks, and then etc, etc, etc. Maybe 3 villagers actually for one barracks, because it's 20 and not 25. Maths and things of that nature are important. We're seeing player move into this corner to grab some wood here. This is sneaky. It's definitely not going to get spotted, and he can just take these villagers off of wood here and move them over onto goat or something. We do have the villagers moving on to berries here, so player just needs to stabilize at this point, defend this this action here. Joe's just going to go straight to the mythic age, it looks like. Not the mythic age, the heroic age. Potentially jump straight to the mythic age after that. So this is a really old, we could be considering a really old strategy employed by PD Pablo. If anybody remembers that name, you win a prize. The prize is my admiration for knowing your Age Mythology history. PD Pablo was a set player back in the Nilla days, and he would go 2 barracks, spearmen, full spearmen into a semi-fast mythic. So you sit 115 population, you get 115 population by like 9 minutes, you get the heroic age by 11 minutes, and you get the mythic age by 13 minutes. And then you cast Tornado on their town center, and you basically kill all their stuff. We are seeing that stable is going to be going down, and still player not built any units just yet. And the watchtower is up though, so it's fairly safe right now. These spearmen and priests do die very, very fast to a watchtower, as they both got very low pierce armor. That's 0% and 20%. So that's a nice defense there. But it does look like player is going to take that same route that he took last game, where he's going to just chill and he should be fine. Definitely need to move off this or send his Odysseus over here. Where is his Odysseus? He's over here, so he can come over here and just pick off that Wadget. We're seeing these spearmen running around. They're going to try and get onto something here, but the watchtowers, unlike cavalry units, do hit spearmen very, very easily. They've only got 5 speed, so the watchtowers have enough tracking to catch up to those ones. Joe, now let's look at this. He's got 1,000 food. Again, he's like not quite got the right economy here. He should be advancing to the heroic age now. He also doesn't have full population, so it's not quite right for Joe, but you can't do it all perfectly. But he is doing this strategy in a relatively good fashion. I do like it. And it does mean that he's going to be able to put a shit ton of pressure onto this large gold mine here, because it's not secured at all. And it's going to be this gold mine is going to get expired around about the 12-minute mark, 10-minute, 12-minute mark. If we check out player's perspective, going to be checking. Yeah, this one's going to be finished about the 12-minute mark when people go to town centers. Normally it's 10 minutes for one town center, 12 minutes if you're on two town center, or a little bit after 12 minutes. He's going to move over to this second gold mine, and that's going to be there for another 5 or so minutes. So by the time Mythic Age hits at maybe like 13, 14-minute mark, he's going to still have this gold mine, but this one's going to be under complete duress. We're seeing town center coming up now for Joe. And oh god, still not. I'm so confused with this. It's like he's got all of these resources, but he's just not spending them. I'm not sure about it. I think he maybe just like chilling, gonna go to the heroic age. Grabbing this town center changes everything. Not going for the semi-fast mythic with just spearmen. So no PD Pablo. Got his little mention, but it's all for nothing. Grabbing a forward town center, going through Nephthys. Player sitting at 71 population to Joe's 88 population, but he's got the villager advantage here, it looks like. 17, 18, 10 to 13, 10, 19 plus 6. It does look like a slight lead for player, considering he lost a couple of villagers in the start, caught up with the extra town center. But player is not got this town center. So I'm really hoping that that Joe does this right, because sometimes set players get really over eager to grab town centers once they have the 3 town center advantage. And it does look like this town center and this town center kind of belong to each other. Like one town center for one person, the other one. This one is technically players and this one's technically Joe's. But I do feel like this town center can be grabbed for a player easily. It's like roughly the same amount of distance. So Joe needs to play carefully here. He does not want to grab this town center and then be subject to a Mythic Age player here. So we'll see what he does choose to do. But player, not actually that close to the next stage. He's got 26 villages on wood, so a little bit too heavy on the wood. Needs to chuck up another couple of military buildings. It looks like only they are coming up as I speak. So that's going to be able to help him out in order to get up to that population. You've got the Migdol Stronghold coming down as well, but it's not going to be protecting this. It's not going to be hitting this gold mine, that is, which would have been preferred if you can get this Migdol Stronghold chilling on this gold mine. At the very least, player is going to have to fight for that one instead of just teching. But we are seeing a Siege Workshop coming up now, and Joe's got these giraffes set up here, which are going to be chilling. We do see that the spearmen, did they see that? He saw it. So that's going to be a nice raid coming on. He's going to be sending the Scorpion Men over here. We do see that walls are going to be coming up as well. So we're going to be moving the Laborer over here, get the walls up, send the Scorpion Men over to just pick up all of those villages, which is going to be really, really good for Joe. Joe's also got the Siege Workshop up, so now I can start building those siege weapons. He's got War Elephants pumping as well. Player, on the other hand, is just stuck in the Classical Age, and he's going to have to use Ceasefire, it looks like, I feel like. And these villagers, or he's trying to hide as if he got out, maybe? He's deleted this. Villager coming in, and they're just gonna chill here. They're gonna wait, gonna build. I love this. This is so sneaky by Joe. I love it. He's just gonna wait over here, and he's Spidey senses tingling. The wall's coming up. These villagers gonna get out of here. Player. Some people would call that map hacks, but maybe he spotted it somehow. That's amazing, but he's going to be able to get out of there. Losing a couple of villagers to the Scorpion and the Spearmen. All of these units moving in right now. The Hippocon trying to pick off these siege towers. The Spearmen doing absolute work, though. Getting those slingers in as well. Moving in, trying to pick off these Toxoteres. And they are on the line of them right now, so they are going to be trying to pick them ones off. The War Elephant's taking so much damage while all these medium Spearmen are picking them off. They've got the Centaur Polemark coming in right now. Priest need to get onto that one as soon as possible. Siege tower taking down this stable as well. All of these slingers taken down, all of these toxins. Player needs to cast Ceasefire. You can't hold on to it right now. You've got so many resources in the bank, and your army just simply does not beat this mercenary spam coming in as well. That's got to hurt as well. Getting those cavalry onto the line of the toxins, they do not do very well at all. The cavalry completely destroy them. We do have the Hippocon jumping onto the line of slingers, but the spearmen are killing them. We are seeing the villagers are trying to pick off those siege towers, but as the micro happens here, just going to jump those villagers in and out of that town center as fast as they possibly can. Siege tower moving back, needs to move that one back onto the town center. Still should be producing those siege towers and chilling on that, getting that third town center. I do like that. Just while you're ahead, get further ahead, as Day9 says. Unfortunately, not microing that siege tower well enough, and the chariot archers not getting onto the villagers does allow player a little bit of breathing room. But Joe has secured the map now. Grabbing this town center means he's got 3 town centers, 4 town center advantage. So this is all about whether or not player can get the tech happening right now. But Joe putting on the pressure, forcing player to make military means that the tech is not going to be happening. But his economy is still good, so he's not out of it at all. However, he's got a bit of a mountain to climb right now. He has to somehow either take this position down or take this position down and get that 3 town centers back. Otherwise, he's just going to be in a world of hurt. More stables coming up in the back of the base. We've got the stables archery ranges coming up. Definitely want to build these with 1 villager each. So you were building up 4 military buildings. They would be done by now if you have 1 villager on each of them. 4 villagers building up one military building is not as fast as 1 villager on each military building putting up 4. And if your aim is to get them up as fast as possible, and get the most military out as possible, that's the way to do it. Anyways, we do see Joe poking his head in yet again. Player looks like he's just about to advance. I would probably think about going through Dionysus here, just simply so you have access to bronze, you have access to at least something that can fight off the ancestors, and you can cast Ceasefire while you're advancing to the next age. But going through Apollo here is potentially an okay option as well, because you can do the Apollo attack onto this town center to take it back. We are seeing that these centaurs were looking for something, but priests are out here already. Then we're moving back in, and we do have all of these siege towers. This is really difficult for player to deal with right now, but he does have these stables in the way, which does protect his town center, which is quite nice. Jason getting built as well, and I assume that Heracles, I can't speak, Heracles will come out as well as soon as the Mythic Age comes through. Got some military academies coming up as well, and that's going to spell a very difficult thing for Joe to deal with, because killing off those hoplite is difficult with this army. Even with all of those centaur, the Hippocon can really soak up the damage there. We do see that these siege towers are going to take down this other stable, but there's so many military buildings right now for player, and he's going to be really happy about that those military buildings are going down first instead of his town center. Definitely need to pull some of these villages off the line. We've got more villages pumping out now. Definitely need to get that Heracles out straight away. We've got the Manticore coming in as well, which is going to help out, and player is actually defending this very, very well. We've got the centaurs searching, but they need to come over here. Does he know? He knows there's a gold mine there, so I have no idea why he's checking this settlement out. He knows that the attack is coming, and he should be able to kind of sniff what's going on with the army. If there's so much army being produced and mercenary, you know that the town center is not going to get grabbed, especially if mercenary coming in, because that means all the gold is being spent on those. We do finally see all the siege towers come down, but the war elephants are doing absolute work, and we do see that the ceasefire does come down right now, and that's going to spell a little bit of doom, because Joe can now go straight to the Mythic Age and also grab this settlement if he feels like. Is there a market? There's the market coming up for Joe. A little bit late. There's really no excuse for this. Generally speaking, one of the first things you want to do when you hit the Mythic Age is grab 1 villager from anywhere, send him to the corner of the map, build a market. Send him to the corner of the map here or here, and just build a market. No, as Egyptian that is, because it's free and it'll be up for you, but it does get the market up in time. It's going to go through Horus. That's going to be about 1 minute and 10 seconds until he hits Horus after the ceasefire's up. So this fight's going to continue. We've got the hoplite here now for player not close to the Mythic Age at all. Do have those centaur coming in as well. This army is looking pretty fierce for player though, and how did he not get that settlement back to full HP? That's a question for the ages right there. But unfortunately, Joe moving his siege towers back instead of keeping them on the town center is going to hurt him a little bit. We do see that Ancestors has been cast here. Odysseus is going to be trying to pick off all of these Ancestors here. Does not have Heracles out. Is getting up fortified town centers, but in the wrong town center. I want to get that one up over here. Villagers are out of gold, so should be sending them ones through in order to help with this fight. But keeping them idle, not the way to go. And having no gold, but picking off all of these units is going to be really, really nice. We do have the villagers over here sneaking around, going to be able to grab onto that gold mine there. Is that one? That one is getting gathered from, so that's going to be painful there. But they are going to be able to gather a little bit of gold. We are seeing more villagers move forward. Player does not have a market, or he does have a market, so we can trade for that one. But all of the units are falling for player. 100 population to 143 population here. Horus coming through as well. Villagers getting onto this gold mine, trying to gather gold, but they need to be fighting at this point. There's so many dead villagers right now for player, and Joey is just getting further and further ahead, sitting at 95% mythic age, and he's going to be coming in here. Oh, making a little bit of a move back. Knows there's some villagers over here. They've got the mercenary cavalry here, and Horus coming down now with the tornado. Going to be able to finish off that settlement, and player decides to tap out. GG, well played there by Joe. Really, I love the adaptation here from the first game. He's realized that style that he uses against Uranos does not work as well against Zeus. Simply because Zeus's late game is so strong, and essentially the super heavy villager play is really good. It puts you really far ahead on the economy, but you can't put the pressure onto your opponent and hit the timings to attack them, and therefore Zeus players will be able to win that late game fairly easily, even if they're slightly behind on the economy, or even severely behind on the economy, simply because their late game is so strong. Joe's shaking things up here with a nice timing push, grabbing this town center, Migdol stronghold, attacking player while he's not in the heroic age, and managed to keep him in the classical age for a really long time, doing that nice juicy stuff. I'd love to see players shake things up in the next game as well. Maybe not go for a fast second town center and actually scout out what his opponent's doing. I hate that Zeus players don't abuse their scout. Look at this scout sitting here, 41 population, taking up 2 population space, and it's basically an invincible unit, right? At least to the archers. So you always want to have it with your army. Always want to be running it around the back of your opponent's archers, and you can just do so much damage, and it's a lot of work for the Egyptian player or any archer based army to have to deal with, because you have to basically kill it. And it's a unit that doesn't do anything. You have to kill it, and there's no real excuse. Anyways, my name is Boit. If you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see my videos as soon as they come out, and I will see you guys next time.